Hello, 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 you guys. Hey, Unfiltered with the T with Citi and Cheryl. Hey, y'all. Talk back to us. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, perfect. We are live. I can sit on my page. Can you sit on your page, sis?
I'm about to check now.
All right. As y'all come on in the room, y'all know the routine by now. Y'all know the routine by now. We on episode number 5. And so come in this room. Let us know where you guys are tuning in from. We are excited you guys are here on tonight. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get this party started on tonight. Again, we are glad that you guys are here on tonight. Oh, let me share this thing one more time. Let's see. All right. Let's get it. So I'm your girl, Cheryl Mazik, you guys, and I'm super excited to be here on tonight. I'm excited because we are here every Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time with the tea. All right. Not the messy tea, but the tea that's going to help you in life, give you some wisdom, give you some knowledge, and help you to be able to propel in life, right? And so, y'all, my name is Cheryl Mazik, and I help women to heal from trauma from the inside out with workbooks, online courses, events, amazing all natural health and wellness products, and income opportunities to make income digitally online. And so that's who I am. That's what I do. And this is my sister Toya. City, come on up and let them know who you are, my sis.
Hello, I'm Toya, aka Coach City. I am a 9 to 5 aspiring entrepreneur coach. I coach entrepreneurs at a foundational level, helping them to truly establish the foundation, making sure that they keep God first, and talking to them at a place where it's showing them about accountability, helping them to come out of procrastination, and pushing them along the journey to show them new things that they can implement in their business to be successful. One thing people do is they may obtain success, but in order to maintain it, the kingdom principles are necessary. And so I help them in that area and also help them again just to come out of procrastination, be held accountable, and speak it out so they can take ownership of where they are. So when it's time to pass them off to the next coach, they can actually be coachable and have ears to hear what the next person is saying to them. So that's who I am. Outside of that, serial entrepreneur and a trainer by day. And so that's who I am. I hand it back over to you, Cheryl.
Awesome. Hey, Miss Alva. Thank you so much for joining. And say we have a few people joining us at the moment. As you guys pop in, let us know where you guys are tuning in from. Rep your city, rep your state. Let us know where you guys are watching from on tonight. And so, y'all, tonight we are going to talk about something super, super amazing, right? But before we talk about that, we're going to have a sponsored ad on tonight. We're going to talk about this core cleanse tea, all right? So this tea is going to make you feel good, right? It's gonna make you look good. Okay. It's gonna make you really sleep good. All right. So, you guys, this tea is an all natural, gentle detox tea for your GI system. It is going to help you, help you in the areas that you need help in, right? So your gut is your second brain. Okay. Can you put second brain in the comments? Your gut is your second brain. And so when your gut is good, right? When it's healthy, then everything else will fall suit. Since taking the core cleanse, you guys, just a quick testimony, and then I'm gonna give it to Toya to do a quick testimony, and then we're gonna get into the topic for tonight. Okay. So with the detox tea for me, it has helped me to release 9 pounds of backed up waist. Okay. I also have released, I used to be 4 inches, y'all, 6 inches off of my waist. Did y'all hear me? 6 inches off of my waistline. Okay, just by drinking some tea that tastes like lemonade. All right. And then I also sleep amazing. And my energy is super, super amazing. So that's what the detox tea has done for me. Toya, go ahead and give them a quick testimony on this core cleanse tea.
Absolutely. So the core cleanse has been absolutely amazing for me. I truly love it. It has helped me to avoid the mental, just the brain fog. I have more mental clarity now. I have a lot of energy that I didn't have before. It's been amazing. Definitely have seen that I've been shedding, and you typically, other people tend to see before you see it, and so people have been telling me that they see me losing the weight, and so I can definitely feel it in my clothes. I haven't measured myself. I'm just kind of waiting on that part, but I definitely can feel the difference all the way around, and so I love it. It tastes amazing.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I am glad that you like it because I love it just like you love it. Okay. And so, you guys, if you would like to take advantage of the Core Cleanse Detox Tea, and if you are following Toya and you're watching her page, get with Toya, right? Get with Toya. Try out the tea. Try it for yourself. And if you're following me and watching me, right, and you want to try this tea, get with me. If somebody referred you to this video, and they is somebody. Oh, Jesus is somebody or somebody. What kind of talking I'm talking? And they are a part of of our company where we sell the tea. Y'all, it's 9:30 at night, okay? Where we sell the tea, right? Then get with them, right? Support them and purchase the tea and try the tea for yourself, right? So just like y'all just heard me just talk all kind of crazy, that's a part of me being who I am, right? And so that goes with so you and the dog. I'll beat you up. You in that face. So we are talking about tonight the power of authenticity, right? That country accent, y'all. Some words I be trying to say and it don't come out right. But the power of authenticity, right? Go ahead and say the word, Toya. Say what the topic is, Toya. Tell them, Toya.
The power of authenticity.
There you go. Yeah, she said it. That's what it is. It's on the screen, y'all. But the power of of being yourself and how so important that is, you guys. It's just so important to show up as yourself. To show up as yourself, because both Toya and myself, right? We help a lot of people all over the world. We help people heal. We help people grow in business. We help people to develop, and we do that as ourselves. For me, like I was telling the ladies the other day, as I was training, when I first got started in business, y'all, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who my voice was. I was copying my mentor. And so when I really started to show up as me, as this person that talks country. Sometimes I can say the words right. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes I stumble over my words, right? I just show up as myself and people can relate to that because, they're like, well, that's me. I stutter a little bit. Like I'm a little country, right? And if she can do this, I can do this. So it's so important to show up as yourself. It's just so important to be you. That's your superpower, being you. Nobody else can be you, right? So Toya, I'm gonna let you go ahead and take the floor on this one.
On the power of authenticity.
Yes, the power of
Definitely.
authenticity. Yes.
Definitely. Good night, everyone. It is definitely important to be yourself. One thing that it really gets under my skin, because when I see people pretending to be something that they're not, it's like you're taking a lot of energy to do just that.
Mhm.
And one day years ago when I was raising one of the boys at one point, I told him, I said, while you're trying to be somebody else, there's somebody that is trying to be you. And so a lot of times I said, just embrace who you are. You're a pretty cool kid. And sometimes we go through life and we don't think that we are good enough. We don't think that we're the right size. We don't think that we have the right skin color. We don't think that our hair looks a certain way, and all these things because somebody made you feel some type of way. And so we look at other people and we don't even realize what those people are going through to be in the position that they're in, or what they had to go through to get there, or to even maintain where they are. And so if you would just be yourself, it would flow, and the people that are drawn to you would come to you. A lot of people don't realize we all have our own tribe. I'm not going to attract every audience of people. And I'm okay with that, because the people that are drawn to me because of who I am and me being in my authentic right, speaking the way that I speak, doing what I do, they're going to come. I'm not for everybody. And we have to be okay with that. And that's the problem with some people. Sometimes they don't know how to be okay with being just who God made them. God didn't make any mistakes. And so that's what I have to say on that. And so I embrace my personality. I embrace the community, how I am with communicating with people and the coaching. And I make no apologies about it. And so that's where I am with this. Sis, I'll give it back to you.
Yep, I agree with you. Because that very thing, y'all, that you think that you don't like about yourself, somebody is sitting back looking at you and they possibly could be jealous of you and envious of what you do, that you don't like about what you do, but they actually love what you do, right? And so I also would say you can't compare yourself to people, because you don't know what those people are doing to get to where they are, right? You don't know what they had to do behind closed doors. You don't know what sacrifices they had to make. And so another thing is too, don't despise small beginnings. And not only that, know that the things that you've been through, they're a part of shaping who you are, right? They're a part of shaping that person that you show up today, right? Because everything that I've been through, I'm able to show up today confidently, because I actually went through it. I came out of it, but I also healed from those things. That's another thing, y'all. Y'all know I'm gonna talk about healing. I'm gonna bring healing into whatever we talking about, because it's so necessary, right? If you don't heal, then you show up, you're gonna show up as your authentic broken self. You're going to be a hurt person, hurting other people and bleeding onto other people. And if you are going to be a leader, whether you're a leader in business, whether you are a leader in your home, whether you're a leader in your corporate office, you have to do the healing work, because you're going to bleed in every single thing that you're going to do. You're going to stop yourself from progressing to the next level, because don't nobody want to work with that angry black woman, that angry white woman, or that angry black man, or that angry white man. Nobody wants to work with you if you're angry and if you're a hurt person hurting other people. Because the thing is, when you are that hurt person hurting other people, you don't even realize that you hurt. You're a wounded person that is showing up as that wounded person, and that's your authentic self in that moment. So it's so important to heal, right, as you're on this journey of life. So back at you, sis.
Yeah, exactly what you just said. As far as it's important for you to heal and not bleed on people, because when you're that angry individual like that, um, that's who you are in that season because of the lack of healing. And I've seen it a lot of times. I have to sit back and just watch people, because saying something to them in that moment. See, as a coach, for me, I have to have permission when I talk to any of my clients. I let them know, do you give me permission? I asked them, do I have permission to coach you? And the reason for that is because you may not be, with me just talking to you randomly and I don't have permission to coach you, you may not receive what I'm saying to you in love or as a certified coach. One thing that I have seen with people that need help in that area is nothing tends to work out for them. Nothing. Because no matter what, they always think it's somebody else's fault. It's always somebody else's fault. When they're unhealed, it's everybody else but them. Everybody
Mhm.
else is the problem. And in that moment, they can't see that you are really a mean individual, or you have been broken, or maybe you have even, maybe you've been, maybe the normal person that you are is nice, loving, caring, kind, but something happened and now you become tainted. Something happened, you were broken and bruised, and now the authentic person that you're showing up as right now is broken and bruised, and you're bleeding on other people, and now nothing that you're trying to do is working for you. people are backing away from you, silently getting away from you. People that used to invite you places, or people that used to do things with you, they don't want to anymore, because now your new authentic self is something that's not attractive.
Come on
Maybe
now.
you're trying to be
Mhm.
something that you're not supposed to be. Maybe you're mimicking somebody else's personality and attitude because that person has that the authority with certain people to do that, and that's not the level of authority that you have. And so now you're again causing people to dislike you. You're causing people to not want to be in your presence, because instead of you being who God has created you to be, in addition to the person that you know that you are and have always been, but because somewhere in your mind you don't think that that's good enough, trying to pretend to be something different causes you to be in a place where now you're by yourself.
Mhm.
So that's what I have this.
Yep. That is so true. That is absolutely true. And so, I remember working with somebody and they was just absolutely horrible. I was like, sis, just don't see it. Everybody is the problem. And so it's so important that you look at yourself. Like self-evaluation is just so important. When I really embarked on my healing journey, I really took the time to look at me and say, God, show me me. Show me everything that I need to heal. Show me the broken little girl, the areas where she was hurt that need to be healed, that I may have forgotten about, that I have suppressed, right? Show me every single area that I need to heal because I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect, right? The only person perfect that walked this earth was Jesus. And so we have to look at ourselves. What Michael Jackson said it the best: the man in the mirror. I'm looking at the man in the mirror.
Let him do it. Thank you.
I'm gonna hit you in the head.
Leave that to him.
Whatever. If I want to sing, I can sing whether it sound good or not. Michael Jackson.
Like,
Look at the man in the
my
mirror.
dad, may he rest in peace. Hit men can't fight. Hit men can't fight. You gonna find out.
Whatever. But
You gonna
Michael
find out.
Jackson said it the best, right?
Right.
You gotta look at the person in the mirror. Like you really have to examine the person in the mirror. It's easier to point the blame game, right? About who this person or who this person, but look at yourself. Just really examine yourself, right? And sit with yourself. And sometimes it don't look good. It looks ugly as I don't know what. It looks ugly as I don't know what. But you have to examine yourself and be like, okay, this I can work in this area. I need to work in this area. Like, Lord, okay, I don't receive criticism well. Help me to receive it so that it can be corrective criticism, right? You just got to be open. If you want to grow, it requires you to be open. If you want to walk as that authentic person, right, yourself, then you got to be willing to grow because guess what? People can see through you if you're not authentically yourself. Like, for instance, if you're in business, right? If you are in business and you are trying to attract people, people can tell. People can tell if you just trying to sell them something. I actually helped somebody when it was a couple of days ago, Thursday, and I had a meeting with her today. And I said, let me just ask you a question. A lot of people is out here selling the same product that I'm selling, right? And I'm just curious, why did you say yes to me? Why did you decide to purchase from me? And she said, honestly, I didn't feel like you was trying to sell to me or just trying to get a sale. I honestly felt like you cared, that you were a genuine person, right? And that you were willing to help. And I didn't feel like you was just trying to get my money, you know? And that's because I show up as me. Because if you genuinely know me, right? I genuinely care. I genuinely care about people. I genuinely want to help people win, to thrive. Because this is the thing. As you show up as your authentic self, like myself, I understand that it don't matter who's selling. Me and Toya sell the same thing. What God has for her is for her. What God has for me It's for me. There are billions of people in this world, and those that are called to Cheryl Mazik will find Cheryl Mazik. Those that are called to Coach City will find Coach City. And so that's why it's just so important to just be yourself. Don't try to rush and just try to, sell anything to people. Because guess what? People can smell when you are desperate. People can smell when you just want to sell them something. And so when you learn how to just understand people, when you learn how to understand that it's a process and be willing to go through the process of growth, then you can stand up and you can walk in your purpose as you, and you can do it beautifully. Okay. Anything else you want to add to that, my sister Toya?
Yeah, because the one thing I will say is over my years, I would like to say that I'm pretty witty, and my clap back is like on it. I have a mean old clap back.
Mm.
It don't even, it just comes out, and so I can tell, like, when I'm in my flow of coaching or talking to people, one thing I can tell is when somebody takes what I'm doing or what I say, and then they try to make it something that they do. And it's
Mhm.
like, I'm looking at you and I like what you do. And I'm looking for you to be authentic with me so we can maybe bounce ideas off of one another. But I'm listening to you trying to repeat the same stuff that I just said, and you stumbling over it, or it don't come out right, it don't sound right. And so I'm like, well, where there's not really a good connection here now because you seem fake. And so it's nothing that I can receive from you. And that's the problem with when you're not authentic, people can't receive you well. I don't care if you're in ministry and you get up there and you're not preaching the word and you're giving petty preaching, nobody wants to hear that. If you are coaching people and you're not authentic in that space and you sound like a robot, or you're trying to piece the things together, they're not feeling that. When you're trying to, if you get on a stage and you're talking to people, you're trying to move the room and you're trying to tell and sell somebody else's story instead of selling your story and selling who you are, and not being ashamed of where you are, then
Mhm.
that's when you lose people. See, we have a journey that all of us have gone through, and your story, number
Mm.
one, is going to be for God's glory, but your story is going to be going to take you to the next level, because somebody needs to hear what God has done for you. Somebody needs to hear where God has brought you from. Somebody needs to know that, hey, if this person went through that, if this person did that, then God is no respecter of person. And so if he did it for her, if he did it for him, he'll do it for me. So let me just keep walking this thing out the way that I know how to walk it out in my authentic self, in my authentic right, and I'm gonna be just fine. But that's a problem for a lot of people, because again, they look at what somebody else has, and this is where social media messes people up. You
Come
look
on.
at people and it looks like they have it all together. And so because it looks like they have it all together behind the scenes, now you start thinking that I don't have enough, I'm not doing enough, I'm not good enough, and I'm not going to be able to sell to nobody, I can't minister to nobody, I'm not going to be able to do this and that for for somebody. But people will take to you by just being who you are. If you ask God to show you who you're called to serve, you will be able to truly be who you are in God for those people, and you will be able to flourish. But when you're trying to copy off of what everybody else is doing, how they say try to keep up with the Jones, it ain't gonna work for you. Nothing will work. And so if you're at a standstill and nothing seems to work, you might just not be authentic. There's power in authenticity. And I didn't realize that at one point, because people tried to make me feel some type of way. And then I had to realize, like, oh, I see what it is. You trying to make me dim my light because you don't like the light that I'm shining with right now. So if you can make me feel some type of way and shut down who I am, then I won't realize the power that I truly have. And so then everything that I'm sharing with you, now you taking it and putting it out there. And so now it looks like I'm a copycat. No. So I had to get a boldness within myself to not concern myself with what other people thought about me or said, and especially sharing things with certain people, and be bold enough to be authentic. And I started to realize, okay, I have an audience. I do have a voice that and people have ears to hear the voice that the message that I'm giving to them. And so I stopped worrying about all the extra. I don't care if you don't like my hair, whether my hair is up or down. If you don't like it, that's not my problem. Worry about your hair, and I'm gonna concern myself with mine. If you don't like certain things about me, guess what? I don't care. And so I'm comfortable with who I am, how I am, and I don't worry about anything that anybody else has to say about it. Because me and my authentic right is what was helping me to minister to the people that God has assigned me to minister to in this season of my life. And so I
Mhm.
hand it back to you.
I agree with you. So I want to piggyback off of the story, right? And how important your story is, because your story is what is going to actually help you in closing sales with people. Because your story is what's going to be that connector piece where they can see themselves in your story, right? And so it's always good to continue to tell your story, because one, your story is forever evolving, right? Because you ain't in the same place where you was, but your story can really relate to other people, and sometimes we forget that on this journey. At least for me, I know, because it's been plenty times I stopped telling my story, right? I stopped telling the story of being a teen mom. That was a journey, and with life, you go through stuff. Me and Tori was talking about this earlier. You go through stuff and you just go through it and you just never process it, right? But it's a part of your story. And it was hard sometimes, being a kid, raising a kid, um, in a time where um things were unfiltered when it comes to hearing things as a kid, hearing all of the negative talk that could have stopped me from walking in my purpose, right? And so telling that story, because they got a lot of teen moms. A lot of teen moms is in their 40s now, and they like, my babies are grown now. I'm about to do me. I'm about to, start working on me, start healing up that broken little girl on the inside of me. And so I'm able to connect with women like that. And just like you, whatever your story is, think about what your story is, because sometimes we go through stuff and we forget the things that we have went through. Why? Because we don't process it. It then went to the back of our head because we had to do that to get through it, right? So understand that your story is powerful. Your story is that tool that can help you really, take your business to the next level, for the business owners that we're on here. And you don't even always have to be in business, because this is the thing about God. A testimony is a testimony, okay? And you can minister to a coworker. You can minister to somebody in the grocery store with your story, right? And so just be okay with understanding that you do have a story. Just because you're not somebody that's famous on the internet or famous on the TV doesn't mean that you don't have a story. We all have a story. And know that your story is no less than anybody else's story, but your story is your story. Your story is the story that created the you that you are today. And somebody needs you. And somebody needs you to share that story, because they are out there, because they are just like you. You never know who's watching. You never know who's listening to know that, oh, wait, she went through that too? Or she's going through that too? Or, I can relate to that. That's me. That's my story. I can connect with her. So you just never know who is actually waiting for you to show up and tell your story. Is so important. So I'm handing it back to you, sis. Let me throw it to you. Go ahead and catch it.
Definitely not. Like you said, telling your story, and sometimes you forget, like we were saying earlier, how sometimes you forget what God has truly done for you, because when you come out of that thing, it's like you almost forget about it. Not that you intentionally forget, but your story is definitely important, because it really will pull people out of some places. Like you said, being a teen mom, you said at one point you stopped telling it. I was listening to you say that, and it's like you probably stopped telling it because maybe somebody tried to make you feel some type of way. Maybe somebody's audience, or maybe somebody at that moment said, well, hey, you don't want kids to be thinking that that's okay. Let me tell you something. God can use anybody. God can
Mm-hmm.
use everybody, and my story is for His glory. And so, yes, if you were a teen mom, you minister to other people to show them that, hey, yes, you might have gone through a situation, but it doesn't mean that's the end of your life. That God extends grace. See, man a lot of times doesn't extend grace, but God does. Man
Mhm.
likes to convict people and man likes to bring shame to people, but God doesn't do that.
Mhm.
God does not do that at all. And see, that's what causes me now to allow myself to be bold and to speak truth to people, because people will try to bring shame to you. People will try to make you go into a place where you shut down and you stop telling your story because they figure that, hey, you shouldn't say that here, or you should be ashamed of it. No ma'am and no sir. My story, God knew what my story was going to be before I was even formed. And so He knew who I was going to be in Him, and that's why I'm going to tell my story, because at the end of the day it's for His glory, not yours.
That
And
part.
you can never allow yourself to be in that place where you shut up. And when you start thinking about truly like what God has done for you and where He's brought you from, and you realize it's like, wow, if and even things that God kept you from going through. And like as I was saying earlier today, like if I had changed anything in my life, like anything, if I had gone to a different university, if I had gone into the military as I desired to do, if I had moved to a different place, any part of my story, if I wouldn't have, if I wouldn't have met the person that I met, if I wouldn't have, any of those things, none of that I'm ashamed of, none of it that I'm upset about, because guess what? It got me right where I needed to be in God.
Mhm.
It got me right where I needed to be, and I'm going to tell my story. And you don't have to tell your story to everybody, because there are certain parts of your story that are necessary for certain people. But
Yes. Agree.
being ashamed of it will keep you in a place where you stay stagnant,
Mhm.
because God might be wanting you to use you in that season to share that with somebody, to minister. That may be your ministry in that season.
Mhm.
But because you're not doing it, because you've allowed guilt and shame to keep you bound, now you can't be set free.
Mhm.
You can't set other people free.
Mhm.
And also, even when it comes down to authenticity, shame will keep you from being authentic.
Mhm.
Shame will truly keep you from being authentic, because again, who you are, somebody will try to bring shame to you, and that's nothing more than the enemy.
Mhm.
Use that person to shut you up, because he knows again that God will get the glory. And once you start to share more and more and more, you don't have that weight or that burden on you. You're going to be free, because whom the Son sets free is free indeed.
Yep.
Be authentic. What Recognize where you are in the season, and you don't have to fake it. It's like, if you're going through a season, that's what we were saying, like as friends, if we're going through a season, hey, I'm in a season right now. My season may not be your season, your season may not be my season. I don't try to keep up with you. If you're doing something, if we and majority of the time we found out that we in the vein, but we don't have to do it at the same time.
Mm-mm.
If it's not for me to do right now, sis, hey, guess what? If I work a job and you don't work one, it's not for me to do certain things in this season. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. When my time comes, my time will come to do that. And I can be bold enough to say, hey, that's not my season. It's not my time. I know that things are moving for you, but guess what? God's not going to leave me out.
Mhm.
But if I start trying to act like it's my season and it's my time to do what's your season to do, I'm gonna mess everything up. I'm gonna
Mhm.
mess everything up, and I'm gonna have to take another lap, or I'm gonna be stagnated and delayed because I'm doing something that's out of the season, and I'm again not being authentic who I am in that season, and I'm trying to be something that I'm not. I'm trying to pretend to be something that I'm not. That's
Mhm.
that's the that's the quickest way to annoy me, because I can tell when you're not being yourself. I don't want to see fakeness. I like to see people. Hey, girl, you got how much? You want to go out to eat? Girl, I ain't got it today. Okay, well, we can eat at the house. We can figure something out. Let's cook a meal. Let's do that. Oh, you want to go out? No, I ain't got it like that. Be open and honest. Be open and honest with where you are in your season, and it'll be just fine. Because there's gonna be somebody else in that group that's gonna be like, "Oh, thank God you said that, because I didn't want to go either."
That part though, people, but people don't know how to be honest. You know, a lot of people are good at pretending, but if you be honest, you
Nap.
just be
I'm telling
surprised who's on the same page as you. Like who's on the same page as you, right?
you, girl, I'm
So, and that's
nap. I
one
don't.
thing I can say about you and I. We're always honest with each other, right? As friends, we always are honest. And you are correct. One season you may be good, and one season I may be good, and one season you may be down, and I might be down. You know, we might be not be at the same time. But I want to talk about two things, right? The first thing you said about you necessarily hadn't needing to go through the seasons that you went through, right? And so I agree with that because every season that you go through, it's going to take you to another level of your relationship with in God. I'll say that because I was thinking about that early and I was like, man, when I was in a season of when my daughter had cancer, that was what 12, well, almost 14 years ago, when she had cancer, right? Spiritually, I was in a different season. Yes, I knew how to pray the wall down. Okay, I definitely knew how to pray. I knew how to have faith, but I didn't know anything about spiritual warfare. I didn't know anything about fighting in the spirit. I didn't know anything about fasting, right? I didn't know anything about consecration. I didn't know anything about, going to the courts of heaven, all of that stuff. I didn't know any of that, right? And so the later seasons in life, right, it required me to be more equipped in getting closer to God, right? And getting closer to God and having a relationship with God and being able to help me for the season that I was in later down the road. And so every season that you go through and everything that you go through, it is that thing to help you get closer to God. Because this is the thing. If you never go through anything, right? You were like, well, what do I need God for? If everything's all happy go lucky all the time, if I got all of the things that I need, every want, every desire, everything that I need, I never go through anything. Well, what am I going to God for? Right? And so we go through different seasons because sometimes God got to reel us in. Like, okay, I'm still here. You ain't the one that's doing this. This is me. I'm doing this. You not the one that's doing this. And so sometimes we have that I mentality, right? Sometimes God have to sit us down and we're like, hey, buddy, sit on down because that's not you that's pulling the strings. That's me, right? And we have to take away the lessons in those seasons that we go through. And those lessons that we take, right? We have to understand what the lesson is. And then we have to start to adjust and apply it to our life, right? So that's the first thing. And then the second thing, like Toya said, you got to be honest. Honesty is just so important. Nobody wants fake friends around them. Nobody wants anybody that wants to be them around them, right? When you find somebody that's slightly, doing the stuff that you're doing, that becomes creepy. Be yourself. Be yourself. Okay, so that's what I got. Toya, you can pick it back
Yeah,
up.
it definitely is. Be yourself. Be who you are. That's why I formed Unity Soldiers years ago in 2015, and then I took it paused for a moment with business, and then I was able to revamp the business and the community, and it's called Unity Soldiers for a reason, because we're a group of different people coming together for one common goal. A group of different people coming together for one common goal. We're fighting for financial freedom and independence. However, we're different. Everybody brings something different to the table, and it is okay. See, the Bible tells you that one man plants, another man waters, but it's God that gives the increase. And so when people understand that, bring what you got to the table, because I might be, whatever I have may be the peace that you need, and the peace that we both need together, so God can give us the increase. But when you have people that don't know how to recognize that, and they want to be what everybody else is and want to do what everybody else is doing, that's not for you. That's not for you. One man plants, another man waters, and God gives the increase. We don't need a whole bunch of bots. Everybody don't need to be a bunch of bots. You are not a robot. Be who God has. If you're not a singer, then don't be the person in the church yelling the loudest to try to sing over the person that is singing. Let the worshiper worship. You don't have to try to drown them out because you feel some type of way about them singing. If you are not somebody that is talkative, or a coach, then you don't have to be just that. Maybe you are good at listening. Maybe you're a good listener, and maybe sometimes, because some people don't need people just to always have something to say. Sometimes people be like, you know what, I just thank you for a listening ear. That just may be your authenticity right there in itself. Maybe you're somebody that prays the walls down. Just because I don't pray like you or you don't pray like me don't mean that my prayer don't get to heaven. Your prayer, God might hear you, might be looking at you, but he might not hear you because you're not giving the word. You're not using the words. You're not using God's word. You're just doing a bunch of babbling. And my prayer might be silent or low, but I'm giving nothing but word, just hitting every point with the word of God. So we've got to be authentic. I don't like that with people. And that's just one of the things that really is truly um is going on in this season, where even like the young people, when they look at all of these reality shows and all of these different things, these children want to be people. And I'm gonna go here for a minute. They're
Go there.
looking at people and don't realize that all the stuff that these people are doing, majority of the time they're renting the jewelry, they bought the money off of Amazon, that's not their car, and they at home sleeping on a blow up mattress with no furniture.
That
But
part.
you're looking at this individual that you think has it all together, and now these young people are watching these people, and now the gift that God has given them, they can't even unbury it. They can't even look at it because they're too ashamed to even operate with what the gift that God has given them. And God said in his word that your gifts will make room for you. If
Mm.
everybody would unbury their gift and ask God, what is it that you've given me? What is it that you've given me? Because I don't want to be considered wicked because I done buried my talent. I don't want to go to the grave, and the grave and everything, and all the spirits are looking at me saying, now we got to die with you because you refuse to unbury us and operate with what God gave us. You refuse to open your mouth and do what God told you to do. So now we got to die with you. A lot of
Mhm.
people on their deathbed end up with regret because they weren't authentic. They didn't do what they were called to do because they didn't even ask God for that. If you, whatever you are and whoever you are in this season, be it and embrace it. I promise you, it's people. Just like when back in the day when people didn't like, for us as African American women, a lot of us back in the day, it's when you saw everybody flat ironing their hair and having to get perms back in the day because they were making it seem as if we weren't pretty or beautiful to have natural hair. They made us think that our skin color was not good enough. They made us think if we had a big nose or if you had full lips, but these are the very things that people are going and paying for nowadays. They
That
made
part.
you feel like you had hips and a butt, that it was something wrong with that you were fat if you were full figured, and it was unacceptable because you couldn't become a model if you were full figured, and you had to go in the bathroom and throw up all your food to be considered somebody. But now people are rocking their natural beauty. You don't have to have your face all caked up with makeup. Now you can see your natural beauty. You can let your hair be be what it is. You can let your body be what it is and love you. And when you start to love you, it's nothing wrong with working on you. It's nothing
Mhm.
wrong with toning up and getting yourself groomed and doing that. But love who you are. Be like she said, like Tammy said, be true to you. Be true to you, and you will
Mhm.
actually see life being so much easier for you. My life has been so much easier when I stopped concerning myself with what other people thought about me, because people would always have something to say. And I had to one day realize, like, you know what? I asked God, what happened to that little girl that was always happy? That was always smiling, that was jolly. But what happened was people began to hurt me, and pulled that away from me. And so then the smile turned into a frown. The smile went from smiling all the time and laughing and having a good conversation with people to pulling back and being reserved and watching people and not being able to be authentic in the person that I was as a joke teller and somebody that loved to smile and laugh and encourage. That season is over for me.
Mm-hmm.
That season is over because I embrace what God has given me. If He's given me the gift to make people laugh, guess what? A merry heart do it good like medicine. I might be able to heal somebody by making them be able to laugh because people can laugh themselves out of sickness, and God may have just used me to be able to do that.
Mm.
So that's where I am with that.
I'm with you. I'm with you. And so, like the natural beauty thing, I'm gonna touch on that because it's like when you really naturally just tune into yourself and you appreciate the natural beauty. I can't see you no more, sis. I don't know if you cut it off on purpose. Um, I don't know what happened to Toya, but I'm gonna keep talking, y'all. Appreciate the natural beauty, right, of who you are. Then you start to see things a little different. Like for me, one of the things I did for me was I took the weaves out, right? I stopped wearing the wigs, and I'm not knocking anybody that do that, right? I'm just telling y'all this is my journey, and so I did that because I started to have issues with the hair, right? I started to break out from the hair. And when I wore the wigs and the weaves and stuff like that, when I wore my own hair, right, I was like, I just don't look right in my own hair. I couldn't find a shape to wear it. It just was like very unshapeable. And I just felt like I had to add more stuff to it. But when I made a decision to get the locks, right, and I started to embrace my natural beauty, my natural hair, then it started to flow different. My hair is flourishing. My hair is growing like a weed. Like my hair has never grown like this. It's healthy. Even like my scalp care is different because I don't do the things to manipulate it, right? And so when you walk in your naturalness in every aspect, you'll start to shine a little different and look a little different. Like I have so many people like, Cheryl, you glowing. Like, okay, thank you. I don't know what it is. I guess it's the peace that I have because I have peace that surpasses all understanding. Do you hear me? Wildlife is lifing, okay? But that's because of God. And when you truly have a relationship with God, y'all, that just changes everything. It really, really does. It changes everything. But you got to learn how to embrace yourself. You got to learn how to love on you. And absolutely, Miss Terry, you got to free yourself from the opinions of other people. Y'all, that is one of the things that keeps so many people bound.
Yes, I wish we could clap. We had like a sound thing to be able to clap for that one.
Yeah,
Free
we ain't
yourself
got
from
one.
people's opinions. Yeah,
There
we
go.
need some audio effects on that.
There go your clap. But free yourself, free yourself from the opinions of other people because this is the thing, y'all. Some people don't like they doggone self. They don't like they self, and they don't like you because you love you, and they don't like themselves, and so they'll talk about you because they don't like themselves. And so just learn how to appreciate yourself. Don't compare yourself to other people. I also wanted to piggyback off my sister when she talked about the people, that you see online and even on the TV screen. You guys do not know what's going on behind the scene. You just don't. And not just the kids are looking at these people, but everyday people looking at people online. They comparing themselves to relationships and marriages, and that's couples goals and this and that. You don't know what the people going through. You don't know what them people going through. You see so many couples that be online, they be happy go lucky, and then maybe 2-3 years later they going through a divorce. So you don't know what people go through. So do not inspire to be other people. Just be yourself. Just learn how to be yourself. Embrace who you are. Embrace your journey. Embrace your story, and embrace the process of becoming, right? Just embrace that process of becoming and know that life is going to life. So, in every stage, be yourself. And if you're at a place where I'm just lost and I don't know where to go, then get the help that you need. It's okay to get help. Yeah, it's okay to get help. What's not okay is to not be okay and stay there and not get the help, because you'll never grow if you don't get the help to come out of that place. All right. So we're getting ready to wrap up because we are almost at the top of the hour for our hour. And so, Toya, as we get ready to close this thing out, what's the final things that you want to say on tonight, my sister?
As I see what's still on the screen as far as free yourself from other people's opinions, it brought me back to something my mom and I were talking about. She said I was like 5 years old, and one of my aunts had told me, "Well, you better do that because they're not gonna like you." And I was 5 years old, and she said, "I don't care because I love me." And so I had to go back, and when she told me that, it I don't know, it just did something to me because it made me say, okay, because at that time it wasn't like recently that she shared this with me, but at that moment it made me look and say, Toya, where did you lose that 5-year-old little girl that loved herself so much that she didn't care what other people thought about her, she didn't care if somebody said they didn't like her or not because she loved herself. And so I'm going to tell you to love. Once you learn to love yourself, you can have a better life and you can truly be free and be authentic. And I have continuously worked towards going back to that little girl and loving me and saying, I don't care if you like or love me because I love me. I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to say what God tells me to say. I'm going to do what God tells me to do. I'm going to share with people that what God tells me to share with them, and that's going to be that. And you may or may not like it, and I'm also going to establish boundaries. See, sometimes people also, when you establish boundaries, people think that those boundaries are attacks. They take a boundaries personal, and it's not. It's like, no, I'm setting these boundaries now because in order for me to continue to flourish and to protect my own peace and to be able to be in a place where I can truly flourish, I have to have boundaries. And I have to keep people at a distance that disturb my peace, that make
Mhm.
me feel as though the the season that I am in and the season of authenticity that I'm in is not good enough. I don't
Mhm.
care if it's not good enough for you. It don't have to be. You know, what works for you don't work for me. And when people now say stuff, anytime people used to say stuff, because people used to love to say slick little things, and it would pull me back. And I realized through prayer and fasting that it was the light that the enemy was using these people to try to cause me to dim. I wouldn't be coaching. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now had I allowed other people to make me try to be something that I wasn't. And so be who you are. Ask God to show you who you're supposed to be in this season. Because again, like she said, every season is going to be a different version of you. You're gonna have a different version every season. And so ask God, what season are you in? And to reveal your authentic self. What am I supposed to be doing? Who am I supposed to be talking to? Where am I supposed to be going? Don't look to the left, don't look to the right, don't concern yourself with what everybody else is doing. I promise you, one thing I hang on to in my back pocket is the last shall be made first. I don't care who runs out the gate faster than me and is doing what. I hold true to the last shall be made first. And God is going to bring me wherever I need to be. And He'll never leave me nor forsake me. I'll never be in a place where I'm in lack or left out. And so just be true to who you are, be authentic, and God will do the rest. And always remember, when you're with people, if just because that person has something that may be a little different than yours, bring it, bring what you have to the table, because one man waters, the other man plants, but God gives the increase. That's all
Mhm.
I have, Cheryl.
Absolutely. So I agree with my sister 100%. And what I would say is just as you on a journey, get to know your creator that helps you on the journey of becoming your authentic self. Just getting to know who you are, right? Who you were created by, what your purpose is, your purpose is, your purpose, what your purpose is, and just continue to seek God and ask questions, and seek ask God for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? And ask Him for common sense, because that's something that you should ask for, because common sense is not so common.
I got
Okay,
something else to say too, real quick
go
before we
ahead.
do it.
Go ahead, sis.
I just want to say this as well. The spirit of competition is something also that keeps people in a place from being able to move forward. Because again, it's like my sister is doing this, my brother is doing this, and it's not a healthy competition. It's a spirit of competition because again, you don't think that you are able to be your own authentic self and have value. Who you are is valuable. You are valuable. So don't let a spirit of competition creep up. And now, once that spirit of competition creeps up, now you start having jealousy and envy
Mm-hmm.
and all this extra drama that's created in your head and all these vain imaginations now, because that spirit has allowed you to think, okay, now I got the person that I was actually working with, or was assigned to be in this season of my life. Now I'm looking at you as competition, when we really can work together. We can collaborate. We don't have to be competitors. We can collaborate and work well together.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I had. Just I see a lot of people with that spirit of competition that keeps them basically running on a hamster's wheel. They run
Mm-hmm.
on a hamster's wheel. You're trying to compete with other people, trying to be slick with it, and then now you're in a place where you're going fast nowhere. You're going nowhere fast. I said that wrong. Backwards. You're going nowhere fast because you just constantly run on that hamster's wheel, trying to run, just tiring yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
Tiring yourself out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's all about collaboration over competition.
Hmm.
You'll get so much further when you collaborate, because everybody brings something different to the table.
Yeah.
Everybody
And don't
brings something different to the table. Mm-mm. Go ahead,
Girl,
sis.
just because I might have a jumbo crayon and you have the thin crayon, I might need the thin crayon to be able to do my lines.
Yeah.
Just it's it's just crazy. It's just crazy how people allow that to even it diminishes friendships and relationships because of that spirit.
It
That spirit
does.
is terrible. The spirit of competition, God revealed that to me and some people, and I'm just like, yeah, it's a no for me. You already know I don't shake and bake with too many people, but mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
That spirit of competition, no, because
You
it's
so
crazy.
true.
It's just crazy. We can, my group of people, we can work well together. My soldiers that meet me underground, we work well together. We mesh well. It's no competition. Whatever somebody has to bring to the table, bring it. Let's bounce ideas off of one another. Let's be able to collab together. Let's see what works. And it's no need for the unnecessary animosity and drama. Just be authentic. Bring what God has given you. As long as God has given you something genuine to bring to the table, you'll know it. And you'll be able to see that everybody is working and moving well on one accord in unity. But when y'all pushing, when one person pushing and the other person is pulling, it's gonna break in the middle. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna break. We either got to all be going one way or going the other way, but not pulling against one another, because it's going to break. There's going to be some tension, and eventually, as it's getting like this, you're constantly doing this, and it's going to break,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll never be able to put it back together again.
Yep. I agree. So as I get ready to close this out, I'm gonna say, like, you just gotta find, if you feel like you are in a place where everybody around you is trying to compete with you, you're in the wrong circle. That's just bottom line. My sisters, Toya, we have two other sisters, Brandy and Erica. We truly bounce off of each other. We all bring something to the table, right? We all utilize our strengths because everybody got different strengths, right? Everybody has different strengths. And when you put it all together, it's amazing. It's amazing. And so God will align you with the right people to bring those strengths out of you, right? And and sometimes you don't realize that until you actually get with those people. Because we got a chance to experience that when we did my retreat back in 2021. And that was the first time we ever just worked together, right? In our gifts, in the thing that God has given us, right? And so it's a beautiful thing when you connect with like minded people that does not have a jealous heart, that truly want each and every person to win, and that's truly walking as their authentic self. It's a beautiful thing. So I encourage you guys, if you guys are struggling and walking in yourself, take everything that we said on tonight and just apply it to yourself and ask God to show you you. Show me me. It's a song that says something like that, huh? Show me me. Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever the song is, let them people sing it.
You gotta leave me alone. If I want to sing, I can sing. Okay. Show me me. Ask, ask God to show you yourself, right? And He will show you yourself. But you gotta ask. That's the thing. You know, we were taught to don't question God, but you gotta have conversations with God. That's just the reality of it. Like you have to talk to God. He's always listening, and He talk back.
Do I know?
That's
I know God be tired of me, and I know the angels be like, God, just tag me in, God, tag me in. Let me handle this one, God. Because I be like, and another thing, I'm just asking, but I know that angel be like, Lord, just let me pluck up one time. One plug from an angel, you go into a totally different atmosphere. You
a
out of
totally
there.
different dimension.
Yeah, and the angel plucks you going right through the door. I know the angel be like, God, let me get her because this girl is on. She stay asking stuff. Hey, they sang a song, but he on the main line. So, excuse me, here again, it's me, God. Another question.
Call him up, call him up. Tell him what you want. Oh, call him up.
Thank you.
What?
Thank
Girl, please. He is
you.
on the main line. Tell him what you want.
They turned the music up when you was in choir, huh?
You know what, Toya? I don't care if I can sing or not. Yes, I was in choir and singing all loud with no voice. Now what you
See,
gonna do?
that's what Kim Burrell would have said. Let me sing it. I got it. Let me do
I
it.
worry
This is the
about no
song.
Kim Burrell. She can go. No, I ain't
She
gonna say that.
said,
She can go somewhere.
she said to you, hey, let me, this is a solo, honey. Let me do it. I got it. I don't
Girl,
need no help.
please. Girl, please. I was an alto sometimes, and then sometimes I was soprano. And I was
Mm,
singing my little heart out. Okay. Okay.
okay.
All right.
Like Tina
So,
Turner. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I'll take it. Let's go.
and they
Because
pulled her right by the ear and said, "Come on out of here." I don't know why they let that baby sing because she was singing. She was singing her little heart out. She was singing her little heart out. So that is a wrap for tonight, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode on tonight. If you did, put a one in the comments. Let me upload our YouTube channel to the comments. Make sure if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you like it, right? So if you're not watching the YouTube channel and you're watching via Facebook, after we hang up, right? After we hang up, we want you guys to click the link in the comments. I'm about to put it now. Go to the YouTube channel, okay? And then like the did we go live? Yeah, like the live on the YouTube channel and then comment what you took away, like your best takeaway. I need y'all to be coachable, okay? Let's
yeah,
be
don't
coachable.
peek and don't speak. Don't just be watching us and peeking and not speaking. That's weird. Don't do that. If y'all watch us, if you take this time to watch, if you like something, show some support. Don't let that spirit keep you from showing support, like and loving. It don't cost you nothing. Don't peek and not speak. Y'all know we was taught not to go in somebody's house and not speak. So come on in here. If y'all come on in the room, speak. hit the like button, hit the love button. It ain't gonna cost you nothing just to show some love and support.
Yep. And if
Thank
you're
y'all for your
watching the
time.
replay, please do all of the above that my sister Toya just said. Okay. Please and thank you. So I'm putting it on your channel too for them to go to the YouTube channel. So that's all we got for you guys. We will be back on next Sunday, same place, same time, 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys on next week. See you guys
All right.
later. Bye bye.